So let's try to do this problem again using the calculator. So first things first, I'm going to write down the problem and extract the matrix. So first, x plus 2y minus 3z equals to 9. Then the second equation is 2x minus y plus 2z equals to negative 8. And finally, the third equation is 3x minus y minus 4z equals to 3. This is my original system. I'm going to put the ones that are invisible, and then I'm going to get the augmented matrix. So from this problem, the augmented matrix is going to be 1, and then 2 for the y, negative 3 for the z, and then 9 after the equal. Then we have the 2, the negative 1, the 2 again, the negative 8, and then finally 3, negative 1, negative 4, and 3. So again, some people try to squeeze these numbers too close to one another and they end up getting confused when they're put in the calculator. Make sure you space them out. There should be a lot of space between each of the numbers. Okay, don't try to squeeze them because then you'll make mistakes. Now I'm gonna do two things with my calculator. I'm gonna get an REF matrix and I'm gonna try to get an RREF matrix. So I'm gonna get the row echelon one and the reduced row echelon form matrix. So basically two answers that I'm going to get from my screen. The ones that matter to me is the RREF one, because that one gives me the full answer. Now again, for this problem, the size of the matrix is 3 by 4. Okay, so let's try to plug this matrix into the calculator. So again, we're going to go second matrix. And as you can see, my menu already has a 2 by 3 matrix saved. This is the last problem that we did together. Now, if that doesn't bother you, you can just leave it alone, or you can create a new matrix. I typically like to just write matrices, new matrices, on top of old ones. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to edit, and I'm going to select the first one again. So I'm going to click 1 again. And I'm just going to modify the size of this matrix. So I want the new matrix to be 3 by 4. So I'm just going to click 3, enter, 4, enter. You don't even have to click delete. It automatically replaces the number once you type in a new number on your keyboard and you just hit enter. So this time around, my matrix has the numbers 1, 2, negative 3. So let's just type them in. 1, enter, 2, enter, negative 3, enter, and then so on. So I'm going to type all of them in and let's see what we get. So I just finished typing them all in. Just make sure you stare at them one more time and verify that they are actually the right numbers so that you didn't, commit some sort of a mistake, accidentally copy the wrong thing. It seems like my numbers are all right. They're all good. So what I'm going to do next is leave this matrix menu. So I'm going to go ahead and quit, quit, and that takes me out. So now I'm going to go again, second matrix. This time though, I want to do some math on the matrix. So I'm going to go over 1 and then scroll all the way until I see REF and RREF. Those are commands A and B. So it's easy to just get to them if you go up a few times. Instead of going down like a lot, you can go up a few times and then you get to the RREF matrix and the REF matrix commands. So I'm going to click REF first. And then I'm going to need to give it give the calculator the name of the matrix. So I'm going to go second matrix and then click 1. Close the parentheses. And this time I'm going to add an extra little command. I'm going to say math 1. This way, if there's any decimals, the calculator will automatically turn them into fractions. I don't like decimals, and so this is convenient. It's going to give me automatically a bunch of fractions, as you can see on the screen. And you see, the diagonal has 1, 1, 1. Under the diagonal, it's all zeros. Everywhere else, there's just random numbers, which is great. This is called the row echelon form. This is the answer that you would get if you were doing Gaussian elimination by hand. And obviously, it would take like 20 minutes to do this, but calculator gets it done in very quickly amount of time. So let's do this again with the RREF matrix. So the matrix now, we're gonna go math again, and this time I'm gonna go RREF matrix. And I'm going to use the name A again, so second matrix 1, close the matrix, and then hit it again with the math 1 to turn everything into fractions. As you can see this time, It's got 1s on the diagonal, 0s underneath, 0s above, and then the numbers are -1, 2, and -2. So I'm going to grab these numbers and put them on my PDF. So again, just keep in mind that the calculator does not put these lines, but you have to recognize where they are. And in this case, the first column represents the x's of the problem, the second column represents the y's of the problem, and the third column represents the z's. There's the equal sign, and then there's the numbers. So if I read the first line in that last problem, in the last matrix, it says 1, 0, 0, -1. So that means 1x, 0y, 0z is equal to -1. So that tells me that x should be -1. The second line says 0, 1, 0. So 0x, 1 of the y's, 0 of the z's. So far that means just y is 2. And then finally 0x, 0y, 1z. So that means z should be -2. And you're finished. So the solution of this problem, the solution is going to be -1, 2, and -2. Simple, no?